I never imagined my quiet suburban life would turn into the kind of drama you'd see go viral online. But last May, my backyard became the stage for a showdown nobody saw coming. It was a perfect Saturday, sun shining, a gentle breeze rustling the leaves, the kind of day that screams for a barbecue. I've been up since dawn, perfecting my signature dry rub for a rack of ribs and marinating chicken for my guests who leaned toward white meat. My plan was simple: a small cookout for my family and a few close friends, with my daughter Lily and her cousins laughing over badminton and my brother-in-law spinning his over-the-top fishing tales. The smoky scent of hickory and sizzling meat wafted through the air as I flipped the ribs with care, feeling like the king of my little backyard kingdom. Little did I know, my perfect day was about to be hijacked by a storm in a sundress named Vanessa Holt. Vanessa, our HOA president and the neighborhood's self-appointed moral compass, had been a thorn in our side since she moved into Oakwood Grove 2 years ago. She clawed her way to the top of the HOA in record time, wielding her title like a scepter. From day one, she made sure everyone knew she was a level 5 vegan, a term I'd never heard until she lectured a kid at the community pool about the murder in his ice cream cone. I'm all for live and let live. If Vanessa wanted to serve VYVE on kale from her rooftop garden, that was her call. But she didn't believe in letting others make their own choices. I'd had run-ins with her before violation notices about offensive cooking odors that didn't exist in the HOA rulebook, megaphone rants on the sidewalk about factory farming, even a failed petition to ban meat grilling that barely scraped together 8 signatures, 3 of which looked like her own handwriting. She'd taken to filming our family dinners from her upstairs window, her phone trained on us like we were starring in her personal expose. Privacy screens didn't stop her. She just found new angles. The police couldn't do much since she was on her own property, so I gritted my teeth and hoped she'd tire herself out. Spoiler, she didn't. That Saturday, as I tended the grill, Vanessa burst through my side gate like a hurricane. No knock, no warning. Disgusting, she shrieked, her face twisted with fury. I can smell your slaughter from 3 houses away. This is unacceptable. Before anyone could blink, she stormed up to my cousin Mike, who was mid-bite into a juicy burger, and slapped it out of his hand. The patty splattered onto the patio, and she pointed at it like it was a smoking gun. That's a crime against the planet. Do you know how many gallons of water went into that abomination? My mother-in-law gasped, the kids froze mid-game, and I stood there, spatula in hand, dumbfounded in my own backyard. Vanessa, you need to leave, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. You can't just barge onto my property. She cut me off, jabbing a finger at my chest. I'm the HOA president. Your violating section 7.3 offensive odors. Newsflash, there was no section 7.3. What happened next was pure chaos. Vanessa whipped out her phone, snapping photos of my grill like she was building a case for the FBI. I'm documenting this atrocity, she bellowed, dodging my brother-in-law's attempt to usher her out. She ranted about animal cruelty and carbon footprints while my guest stared, slack-jawed. Someone dialed 911, and soon, police sirens wailed in the distance. My family barbecue had morphed into a crime scene, and I hadn't even finished grilling the ribs. This wasn't Vanessa's first stunt, but it was her boldest. A month earlier, she'd sent me a violation notice for meat smoke, which I debunked at an HOA meeting. She'd sniffed and said my grilling triggered her ethical sensibilities, as if that was in the bylaws. I offered to grill at specific times or give her a heads up, but compromise wasn't in her vocabulary. The notices kept coming, citing fake rules like no airborne meat particles. She'd escalated to megaphone lectures outside my house, forcing neighbors to avoid my yard like it was a war zone. When her petition flopped, she started filming us, and I'd catch her phone glinting from her window during dinner. It was creepy, but the cops said their hands were tied. The tension had been simmering, and I should have known it would boil over. The breaking point came during Lily's birthday cookout a few weeks later. I'd invited her soccer team, and to be inclusive, I was grilling veggie burgers alongside the beef, even texting Vanessa to let her know. I thought it might keep the peace. I was wrong. As I laid cheese on a few burgers, Vanessa charged through the gate, her eyes wild, her usually pristine bob a disheveled mess. "I knew it," she screamed. "You're doing this to torture me. That smoke is poisoning my organic tomatoes." Before I could react, she kicked over the side table where I'd set my tongs, plates, and a bowl of marinade. Everything crashed to the ground. Then, in a move so wild I still can't believe it, she grabbed a sizzling brisket off the grill with her bare hands. "Ow! Hot!" she yelped, but still managed to hurl it into my wife's prized rose bushes. "Return to the earth, you murdered creature," she declared, like some deranged prophet. The kids stood frozen, their friends gaping. Parents moved to shield the children, and my wife, usually the calmest person I know, looked ready to throw hands. Vanessa, undeterred, pulled out her phone and started filming the shocked partygoers. "You're all complicit in environmental abuse. I'm calling PETA and the EPA," she shouted. That's when Lily's soccer coach, a quiet woman named Sarah who rarely raised her voice, stepped forward, phone in hand. "I've recorded everything since she trespassed," she said, her tone ice-cold and commanding. "Want me to call the police?" I nodded, finally finding my voice. "Yes, please. Everyone, stay calm. The cops will handle this." Vanessa faltered, realizing she was surrounded by witnesses. "You're all ecological terrorists," she spat, backing toward the gate. But her escape was cut off by neighbors who'd heard the commotion, including HOA VYC President Greg Larson. Greg, looking mortified, stepped in. "Vanessa, this is too far. You can't trespass, destroy food, or invent HOA rules to push your agenda." She screeched, "I'm the president. I make the rules. Excite. That's not how it works." By the time the police arrived, for people had VY Deo, EVY Denke of a rampage. The officers watched the footage, their faces growing grimmer with each clip. "Ma'am," one said, turning to Vanessa, "you're under arrest for criminal trespass, destruction of property, and disorderly conduct." As they cuffed her, she wailed, "This is persecution. I'm being punished for caring about the planet. I'll sue every meat eater here." Even as they led her to the patrol car, she kept yelling, promising to take us to the Supreme Court. With Vanessa gone, a strange calm settled over the yard. Greg apologized for the HOA's failure to rein her in, and the kids, bless them, were back to playing in no time. I salvaged what food I could, threw fresh burgers on the grill, and somehow the party bounced back, maybe even livelier than before. There's something about watching justice served that pairs well with potato salad. 3 days later, I got a certified letter about an emergency HOA meeting. I went, half expecting Vanessa to have spun some wild story in her favor. Instead, Greg and the board greeted me warmly. They'd voted Vanessa out as president, citing her charges: third-degree harassment, trespassing, and property destruction. She faced up to 90 days in jail and due lot $2,500 in fines. Her PR firm employer had put her on unpaid leave, and rumor had it she was packing boxes. Sure enough, a for sale sign appeared in her yard the next morning. The real surprise came the following weekend when a young couple, Ethan and Mia, stopped by. "We're vegan," Mia said, handing me a dish of plant-based burgers. "We're sorry for how Vanessa acted. These are great on the grill, and we'd love to have you over for dinner, no lectures, no food throwing." Ethan grinned. "We just want to be good neighbors." I took the dish, feeling a weight lift. As they left, Mia paused. Heard Vanessa got 60 days in jail and community serve VYC, cleaning up after rescue dogs at the shelter. She fainted when the judge said it. Her problem wasn't veganism, it was thinking she could control everyone else. Looking back, it's wild how a simple barbecue turned into a neighborhood saga. Oakwood Grove is quieter now, and I'm back to grilling without looking over my shoulder. But it makes you think, where's the line between standing up for your beliefs and forcing them on others? Should Vanessa have been arrested, or was she just passionate? Could I have handled it differently? And what would you have done if she'd thrown your brisket into the bushes? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're team barbecue, and subscribe for more crazy neighborhood stories. Let's keep this debate sizzling.